Karen screamed at my brother for sitting. He lost his legs in service. I didn't want to punch her. God knows I've been trying to live a peaceful life since we moved out here. But the way her voice cut through the afternoon, sharp and self-righteous, aimed like a bullet at my brother. It took everything in me not to explode. We'd only lived in Ridgewood Estates for 6 weeks, a quiet, over-landscaped suburb with an unnerving number of pastel mailboxes and too many community guidelines. My brother Nate and I bought the house together after he got out of rehab, the medical kind. Not drugs. He'd lost both legs in a roadside bombing in Kandahar. I was his older sister. Always have been. Always will be. And I swore I'd protect him no matter what. Nate didn't talk much about the war, but I knew enough: the blood, the burning metal, the nightmares. The prosthetics were high-tech. Sure, but they didn't bring the feeling back. Pain still followed him around like a shadow, especially on humid days like this one. He'd just wheeled himself to the edge of our lawn, settled into the custom bench we built together, his favorite spot to read, shaded by the old magnolia tree. He wasn't hurting anyone, just breathing. And then she came. Karen, polo shirt tucked too tight, clipboard in hand like some unholy badge of authority. She marched right up to him like he was a criminal. "Excuse me," she snapped. "This area is for standing citizens only during flag time. Sitting is a form of protest and completely disrespectful. You will stand." I was on the porch, mug halfway to my lips. I froze. Nate didn't even look up from his book. Karen huffed and walked closer. "Did you hear me? Sir, stand. We all do. No exceptions." He finally glanced at her. Calm, collected. "Ma'am, I can't stand." "Well, why not? What makes you so special?" she sneered. Then she reached for his arm. I was off the porch in seconds. "Don't touch my brother." She whirled around like I'd slapped her. "He's being unpatriotic. Everyone else stood for the flag. If he won't, I'll be reporting him to the HOA. That bench is on our lawn," I growled, "and he doesn't have legs." She blinked, confused. "Everyone has legs." I stared at her like she'd just said the sky was green. Then Nate slowly lifted the cuffs of his jeans. 2 carbon fiber prosthetics gleamed in the sunlight. Karen gasped like she'd been slapped. "Well, I didn't know. You didn't say anything." "You didn't ask," Nate said quietly. The damage was done. Word of the confrontation spread like wildfire across the neighborhood Facebook group. Except this time, we weren't the ones on the defensive. Neighbors started commenting, sharing. The post hit 2,000 likes in 2 days. Someone had caught the exchange on a doorbell camera, and the footage showed Karen screaming, pointing, the whole ugly mess. But here's the part that still makes my blood boil. Instead of apologizing, Karen doubled down. She claimed the video was out of context, that she was just trying to maintain the standards of patriotism in the neighborhood. She even forged a flyer with fake HOA rules saying all residents must stand for the flag on Thursdays at 5 p.m. "Ma'am, a tradition," she said. The thing is, Ridgewood doesn't even have an official HOA. It's a voluntary neighborhood association run by a few retirees who mostly just plan bake sales. But Karen, she made herself president, without election, without paperwork, just a fake website and a few signs taped to lampposts. And somehow, some folks actually believed her. I started digging, pulled domain records, tracked down the site she used for her fake HOA newsletter. It was hosted under a burner email. I reverse searched it and found more fake complaint forms, phony violation warnings, and even a fabricated fine policy. Turns out, Karen had created a shadow HOA, just so she could control everything: who painted their fence, who parked where, who sat when. And now, she was coming after us. Nate tried to let it go. He said she wasn't worth it, but I knew better. People like Karen don't stop until they're stopped. So I called him back up. One of Nate's old buddies from his unit, now a cybercrime analyst with the state, and another friend of mine, a local reporter always hunting HOA corruption stories. Within a week, we had a plan. We gathered testimonies, Nate's VA records, emails from other neighbors who'd been harassed, and, best of all, an email Karen accidentally sent from her HOA account threatening an elderly couple with eviction unless they removed their pride flag. There was no HOA. She had no power, but she used fear like a weapon. We dropped everything on a Friday morning. The story aired that night. Fake HOA queen harasses, disabled veteran in Ridgewood caught on camera. The headline made the local news. And then national, Karen was swarmed by reporters. One of the veterans groups Nate worked with issued a statement. Even the mayor chimed in, calling her behavior un-American and disgraceful. And that's when the twist came. A woman from the state attorney's office reached out to me. Turns out Karen had done this before 2 other neighborhoods. Same M.O. She'd moved in, declared herself HOA head, and used made-up rules to bully people into compliance. Elderly folks, single moms, veterans. But no one had ever fought back. Until now. They charged her with impersonating a public official and falsifying documents. She lost her job, her reputation, and her power in one fell swoop. When we walked back to Nate's bench a week later, someone had left flowers. A little flag was stuck in the soil beneath the tree, and a note taped to it in shaky handwriting. Thank you for your service, and for sitting so we can stand. Now Ridgewood's getting better. A real neighborhood council is forming made up of elected volunteers. People are talking more, helping each other. We've got a garden project, a book club, even a flag ceremony. Nate helps lead one where standing or sitting is your choice. Justice isn't just about punishment. It's about rebuilding what fear tried to destroy. So let me ask you this. When does patriotism become a weapon? When does silence become complicity? Tell me in the comments. What would you have done if someone screamed at your disabled brother just for sitting? Let's talk about justice. Let's talk about what really makes a community. And let's make sure people like Karen don't win.